So to my left here I have Jessica Loebner and Will Hayes. Both do energy work. They're also great massage therapists. But today our focus is going to be on energy work. And our interviewer, Liz Mierendorf, also star acupuncturist, and I also work as an acupuncturist. So what I really was thinking was, first of all, just what is energy work? I think it's confusing. There's a lot of names for it. I feel like even as an acupuncturist, I should understand it. And I feel like I even have a few questions that I'd like to clarify. So I thought we'd just get into it.
Great.
So, yeah, thanks for coming.
You bet.
Awesome. First of all, how would you describe energy work to somebody who's never even heard the term before, someone who's never experienced it? What would you say it even is? Like, what does it mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I guess for me, I explain it as, well, you know, everything is made up of energy in the world, and energy has different vibrations. So sometimes in your body, when things might be moving a little bit more sluggish, or you're not feeling well, or maybe you have chronic pain, it can just be moving a little bit more slowly. And so everything is going to vibrate at a different level, and that's kind of encompassing energy.
Yeah, energy work is, it's an interesting realm to work with and experience, because it's, the thing about energy work that's interesting is, you know, the energy comes first. Here on Earth, we're really physical beings. We're really tangible. We want to experience things in that realm, and yet everything first happens from an energetic standpoint. So the energy comes in, and then once the energy realm is experienced, then it goes into the emotional level.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the emotional level is experienced, then it goes into the physical level. So what's interesting about it is any disease or sickness or illness all starts from an energy place. So when we're working with the energy, you're working that subtlety, and what's really cool about it is it's so proactive and it's so healing to that degree that you're just kind of like, this is where I need to be, and this is, if you cultivate the ability to receive the energy, it's so powerful, it's so healing, and really just, yeah.
Okay, so that sounds similar to, like, I always say acupuncture is a medicine of subtleties,
Yeah.
right? Like, we can tell what might be going on in the body before you even have symptoms. Mm-hmm. So you're saying this might even be deeper than that. That's what I'm
definitely.
So, like,
Yeah.
so when you can access that, how do you make a change there? Like, you use your body to do that? What does that feel like for someone?
Yeah, I mean, you mean me as the practitioner, or?
Yeah, and then the person receiving it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for all practitioners, it's, you know, it's always a little different. I think for most practitioners and most people receiving, I think a simple key point is usually feel heat through my hands, and the person usually experiences heat in their body, or sometimes cold.
I'm really curious about how you guys even got into this. Like, what was your first experience? How did you know this was even a thing? And like, how did you start studying it and using it in your practice?
I didn't know it was a thing, to be honest. So I was working in corporate America. I was really burned out, and I was just very like exhausted. Like no matter how much sleep I got, or like how healthy I ate, or like what I did, I just felt awful every day and just really burned out. And one of my managers was talking about how she went to go get acupuncture, and I'm like, what's that? So I had to start Googling it, you know, I'm supposed to be working on like Googling acupuncture in Wisconsin. And what came up was some acupuncture places, but also this thing called Reiki. And I thought, what's Reiki? So I'm clicking on it and looking at it, and it's energy work. It's just it's a Japanese form of energy work. It's just a specific kind. And so I decided to go get a session because it sounded really great. And so I went to this lady's house. So I go there and I had the most amazing experience. So it was just like, she laid her hands on me, and I just felt like this, like Will was saying, like this warm sensation. And then I started feeling like tingling and goosebumps and stuff, and I could just feel like these flushes of sensation just like leaving my body, and I almost felt like euphoric, like I'm like whoa, like out of my body or something crazy. And that was my first experience, and I got off of the table and I felt amazing. And so I thought, wow, there's something to this. Like I need to look at this. Yeah, it's really good. Like if you feel really stuck in your life, it's just kind of that like kick in the woof that you need to kind of get moving in whatever direction you're
so it
supposed to
can
be
help you
going
shift and like make a decision. That's really cool.
a lot of clarity.
Like, you know, like you were saying, what is energy work and how do you describe it? And there's all these different cultures that talk about it and know about it and have all these different terms for it. So like anytime you hear the word prana, ki, chi, and telegi, akash, the bioelectromagnetic field, and then in Reiki, universal life force energy. But they're all describing the same thing, because this energy permeates everything we do and everything that we are, and all the technology and everything that we utilize that's helping us evolve is energy based. You know, that's how everything's conducted is through the lens of energy.
So it's interesting, both of you, it sounds like you started more with that energy and then started doing massage. So what would you say to somebody who gets regular massage or knows the benefits of that about adding in energy work?
No, but I think the interesting thing about energy work is that it's not really us doing anything to a person. It's more like we're stepping back out of the picture and just trusting whatever is coming through to serve the person. Whereas with massage, I'm feeling like, okay, this person has this athletic injury from 2 years ago, and I'm going to do this to like make that happen and fix the problem. Whereas energy work is more like, okay, we're really going to just trust the source of the universe. I know that sounds super woo, but you know, it's like trust the force of the universe to come through and whatever's supposed to happen for that person to happen. So there's not really an agenda with it.
So like does what I believe in, like if I'm religious or not spiritual at all, does that matter? Like do I have to believe in it for it to work?
No, you don't have to believe in it to work. I think the more open you are to receiving, like Will was saying, the better that you're going to feel, because you're not resisting anything. But yeah, there's no like spiritual belief or anything that behind any particular thing. It's just everything's energy.
You know, I think there's a few different indicators. I think anytime you feel, at least for me personally, and what I found with clients is when they have like they feel like they have like an emotional block or just something that, you know, a massage maybe wouldn't be the right thing. And kind of like Jess said earlier, it's kind of like you just feel it. When you feel off and you feel irritated and you're just like, why aren't things going right? And you know, I just can't get on track.
That's a human experience.
Yeah, totally. You know, that's a perfect time for energy work. And you know, this is, you know, a subject that's near and dear to my heart, because my wife works with the trauma world, and I think it's a really important that people that have trauma get energy work as well. Just because a lot of the time...
I'm gonna stop. What do you mean by trauma? What is, like, physical trauma?
Well, I would say any.
Okay.
I would say any trauma. When you're not really comfortable with someone touching you, energy work is so good, because it's...
That's a really good point.
Like Jess was saying, we're totally stepping out of the way. As one of my teachers said, what she calls it is holding space in profound neutral. So we're in this really profound kind of centered state, and we're being neutral, and we're not manipulating the person. We don't have an agenda. You know,
we don't even have to touch them. We can do everything above the body too.
Say, wow.
Yeah.
So with acupuncture, I treat a lot of people with pain, and they're even sensitive to the touch, and sometimes I have to get really creative, but sometimes I'll refer them to get energy work, because I know that they can have things shift without you know, having a lot of manipulation to the tissue or, you know, just comfort.
Yeah, just a little bit like, so if they see this and they feel curious, like what is that experience going to be like for them?
Yeah, well, I think that's a great question, and I think, like you said several times, like it's different for every practitioner. I mean, so the way that I do things is I pretty much just ask them what's happening in their life that they experience pain, you know, if they're going through anything, like why they're here. Because there's a reason why they're here, right? So we uncover that. And if they don't want to say it, that's fine too. I don't need to know anything like that. So then I'll leave the room and just let them get comfortable on the table with their clothes on. If they want to cover up with a blanket, they can do that too. If, you know, they get cold or whatever. And then I come in and I start by going to their feet, and I will just look at their energetic body, and I do that through my hands and how it feels, and I'll just search for like imbalances or stuff that feels thicker in their body. And then I just start at that area, and then we move along, and their body will tell me where to go in the session, because for me, like being trained in this, I can tell how things feel. And even if I'm working, like say on someone's head for a headache, you know, maybe they have something else going on in their leg. So yeah, so then it's basically just like I'll just lay my hands on them, like head, stomach, knees, feet, whatever, wherever I'm guided to go. And then typically people just feel really relaxed.
Do they fall asleep?
Sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, the basic, I'd say the most common experience is people just feel extremely relaxed and really clear when they get off the table.
Nice.
Yeah, some
Use a
people.
good nap.
Yeah, exactly. Some people might have like emotions come up, and that's totally cool, and that just happens too. I usually let the client guide the session, so if they want to talk about what's happening, then I will talk to them, and if they don't, then I won't. So I let them guide what's happening.
Well, thank you. I feel like I've learned a lot. So if I feel like I'm ready to come book with you guys, what kind of service do I look up? What's the name of the service that I'll look up?
It's just called energy.
That's really nice.
Just book energy work. We'll take care of it.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
Well, thanks you guys. I learned a lot today, and I want to know more. So I think we'll cut it off today here, but I want to ask you guys more questions, and we'll make another video about more details for people that are more interested in learning even all the different caveats of the energy work. But obviously a lot of people can benefit, and I'm so grateful for your time today. And we're really glad to have you guys here at Isthmus Wellness, and adds a lot of value to all of our clients. So thanks guys for tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.